The little girl stood perfectly still on the sidewalk, as if the world around her might shatter if she moved even an inch. Her small hands clutched a piece of cardboard that was almost too big for her arms. The words written in thick black marker were uneven, but clear enough to read. "Buy my bike, sir. Mommy hasn't eaten in 2 days." Beside her leaned a pink bicycle, small, scratched, its paint chipped in places where happier days had worn it thin. A white basket hung crookedly from the handlebars, empty now except for a single faded ribbon tied to its side. Her name was Lily. She was 7 years old. Across the street, engines roared like distant thunder. For motorcycles slowed, then stopped. People usually avoided that sound. Parents pulled their children closer. Shop owners watched from behind glass. But Lily didn't flinch. She didn't look afraid. She simply raised her sign a little higher, her arms trembling from the weight. One biker dismounted first. He was big, broad shoulders, thick arms marked with old tattoos that told stories of pain, loyalty, and survival. His black leather vest bore a patch many feared. But his eyes softened the moment they landed on the child. He walked toward her slowly and then, instead of towering over her, knelt down so they were eye to eye. "What's your name, sweetheart?" he asked gently. Lily swallowed. "L. Lily, sir." The biker glanced at the sign again, his jaw tightening. "And whose bike is that?" "Mine," she said. "Daddy gave it to me before he went away." The biker didn't ask where away was. He already knew there were places worse than death. "Why are you selling it, Lily?" Her lower lip trembled. She fought it bravely, like she'd learned not to cry unless absolutely necessary. "Because Mommy says she's not hungry," Lily whispered. "But I hear her stomach at night. And she gave me the last bread." Silence fell heavy around them. Behind the biker, the other men had removed their helmets. Bearded faces hardened, eyes narrowing, not with anger at the child, but at the world that had failed her. "Where's your mom now?" the biker asked. Lily pointed behind the tree. There, sitting on the grass with her back against the trunk, was a woman who looked far older than her years. Her clothes were clean but worn thin. Her cheeks were hollow. She held her arms tightly around herself, as if bracing against cold or shame. When their eyes met, she tried to stand. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "She shouldn't be bothering people. We'll leave." She stumbled, nearly falling. The biker stood and caught her before she hit the ground. "You don't need to go anywhere," he said firmly. Tears streamed down the woman's face. "I don't want trouble. I just couldn't watch her starve." "What's your name?" he asked. "Emma." She told her story in pieces at first, like broken glass. Her husband had died in a workplace accident 2 years earlier. The company promised compensation, but the paperwork vanished. The landlord raised the rent. Medical bills followed. Then came the eviction. Social services took weeks to respond. Jobs disappeared the moment employers saw her address, or lack of one. And 2 days ago, someone took the last thing she owned that was worth anything. Her savings. "They said they'd help me get work," Emma whispered. "They took my ID, my bank card, everything. Then they disappeared." The biker's eyes darkened. "Who?" he asked. Emma hesitated. Fear flickered across her face. "I don't want problems," she said. "They're dangerous men." Behind him, one biker cracked his knuckles. "Ma'am," the biker said calmly, "you're already in trouble. You just didn't cause it." She whispered the name. A local loan shark crew. Known for preying on desperate people. Known for leaving families with nothing. The biker stood, straightening his vest. "Boys," he said quietly, "looks like we're late for lunch." They didn't smile. First, though, something else happened. The biker pulled out his wallet, not slowly, not dramatically. He handed Emma several bills. "This is not charity," he said. "This is life being unfair, and us correcting it." Emma shook her head. "I can't." "Yes, you can," he interrupted gently. "Because your daughter tried to sell her childhood so you wouldn't starve." Then he turned to Lily. "Hey," he said, smiling for the first time. How much you want for the bike? Lily looked at him, confused. Enough for mommy to eat. He pulled out more cash and placed it in her tiny hands. That's more than enough. Her eyes widened. But you didn't even ride it. I don't need to, he said. I just needed to meet you. He stood and addressed the group. Watch the bike. Watch them. Then the bikers mounted their motorcycles again. The engines roared, not with noise, but with purpose. The loan sharks were confident men. They laughed too loudly. Spent money too fast. Believed fear was permanent. They were wrong. By nightfall, they understood something important. You can steal from the poor. You can exploit the desperate. But when you take food from a child's mouth, someone always comes knocking. And sometimes, they don't knock politely. 2 days later, Lily rode her pink bike again. Her basket was full, apples, bread, and a small stuffed bear someone had tied with that same faded ribbon. Emma had food. Shelter. Her documents returned. A job interview scheduled. And down the street, engines faded into the distance. Not heroes. Just men who refused to let a child sell her innocence to survive.